Are you looking for a versatile programming language that can help you achieve your career goals? Look no further than Python. As a programming language that can help you land a high-paying job, Python serves as a great option. The Knowledge Academy provides you with the best opportunity to learn and implement Python through these free tutorials. So happy coding!
Today, we will discuss in detail the def keyword in Python and its code implementation. The provided code defines a recursive function factorial that calculates the factorial of a given non-negative integer n. Factorial is the product of all positive integers up to n. The base case of the recursive function is when n is 0, in which case it returns 1. Otherwise, it recursively calls itself with argument n-1 until reaching the base case, continuously multiplying n with the result of the recursive call. The script prompts the user to enter a number num and then calls the factorial function with the input. The result is printed using a formatted string displaying the factorial of the entered number. The int input enter number statement is used to capture user input, converting it to an integer. The factorial of the input calculated by calling the factorial function, and the result is displayed in the output. This script demonstrates the recursion to compute factorials and take user input for the number to calculate the factorial of. Now, write a Python program to check if a number is prime. This script defines a function as prime that determines whether a given number n is a prime number or not. The function first checks if n is less than or equal to 1, which are not prime numbers, returning false in such cases. It then uses a for loop to iterate from 2 up to the square root of n, rounded up to the nearest integer. For each value in this range, it checks if n is divisible by current value I. If it is, n is not a prime number and the function returns false. If no divisors are found, it returns true, indicating that n is a prime number. The script prompts the user to input a number, num. It then calls the isPrime function with the input and prints a message stating whether the input is a prime number or not based on the function's return value. This script provides a simple way to determine primality of a given number through the isPrime function. Write a Python program to find the sum of all even numbers in a list. This script calculates the sum of even numbers from a given list of numbers. It defines a list called numbers containing the provided numbers. The code uses a generator expression inside the sum function to sum only the even numbers in the list. The generator expression iterates through each element in the list and filters for even numbers. It then sums up these even numbers using the sum function. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string displaying the sum of even numbers from the list. The output will be something like the sum of even numbers in the list is the sum. The actual sum of even numbers from the given list will replace even sum in the output. Write a Python program to find the largest element in the list. This calculates the largest number in a given list of numbers. It defines a list called numbers containing the provided numbers. The max function is used to find the maximum value in the list. The max function takes the list of numbers as an argument and returns the largest element from the list. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string displaying the largest number found in the list. The output will be something like the largest number in the list is this. The actual largest number from the list will replace largest in the output. Write a Python program to reverse a string. This script defines a function reverse string that takes an input string and reverses it using string slicing, the slicing with the step of -1. Effectively reverses the order of characters in the string. The script then prompts the user to enter a string, calls the reverse string function with the input, and stores the reverse string in reversed text. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string displaying the reversed string. For example, if the user enters hello, the output will be the reverse string is OLLEH, indicating that the input string hello was reversed to OLLEH. This script takes user input for the start and end of a range, calculates the sum of numbers within that range inclusive, and then prints the sum. Here's how it works. The script prompts the user to input the start and end of the desired range using input. The int function is used to convert the input values assumed to be integers from the strings to integer values, storing them in the variable start and end. The range function is used to generate a sequence of numbers from start to end inclusive. The sum function calculates the sum of this range of numbers. A formatted string is used to print a message displaying the start and end of the range along with the calculated sum. For example, if the user inputs a start of 3 and end of 7, the output will be the sum of numbers from 3 to 7 is 25. Now, write a Python program to count the number of vowels in a given string. This defines a function countVowels that calculates the number of vowels in a given input string. The function takes an input string and iterates through each character in the string using a for loop. For each character, it checks if the character is a vowel by comparing it with a string containing uppercase and lowercase vowels. If a character is found to be vowel, the count is incremented. After iterating through the entire string, the function returns the total count of vowels. The script prompts the user to input a string text. It then calls the countVowels function with the input and stores the count of vowels in vowel count. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string, displaying the number of vowels in the input string. For instance, if the user enters hello world, the script will output the number of vowels in the string is 3, as there are 3 vowels E, O, O in the input string. Write a Python program to check if a string is a palindrome. This script defines a function isPalindrome that checks whether a given input string is a palindrome. A palindrome is a word, phrase, number, or other sequence of character that reads the same forward and backward, disregarding spaces, punctuation, and capitalization. The function first converts the input string to lowercase using lower to ensure a case-insensitive comparison. Then it checks if the reverse string is equal to the original string, which determines if it is a palindrome or not. The script prompts the user to input a string text. It then calls the palindrome function with the input and uses an if-else statement to print whether the input string is a palindrome or not. For example, if the user enters madam, the script will output the string is a palindrome, as madam is a palindrome when ignoring case. Write a Python program to find the square of each number in a list. The script calculates the squares of a number in a given list. It defines a list called numbers containing the provided numbers. Using a list comprehension, it iterates through each number in the list, squares each number, and forms a new list called squared numbers with the squared values. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string, displaying the squares of numbers. The output will be something like the squares of numbers are 4, 16, 36, 64, 100. The actual squares of the numbers from the given list will replace the 4, 16, 36, 64, 100 in the output. Write a Python program to remove duplicates from a list. This script defines a function remove duplicates that takes a list as input and returns a new list with the duplicate elements removed. It iterates through the input list, checking if each element is already in the unique list. If an element is not present in the unique list, it is appended to the list. This ensures only unique elements are included. The script then defines a list called numbers containing the provided numbers. It calls the remove duplicates function with the numbers as the input and stores the resulting unique list in unique numbers. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string displaying the list with duplicates removed. For example, if the provided list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 6, 5, the script will output the list with duplicates removed is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, showing only the unique elements from the list. Write a Python program to find the length of longest word in the sentence. This script defines a function longest word length that calculates the length of the longest word in a given sentence. It first splits the input sentence into words using split, and then it uses a generated expression to find the length of each word. The max function is then used to determine the longest length among these lengths. The script prompts the user to input a sentence. Input sentence. It calls the longest word length function with the input and stores the length of the longest word in length. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string displaying the length of the longest word in the sentence. For instance, if the user inputs the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, the script will output the length of the longest word in the sentence is 5, as jumps is the longest word with the length of 5 characters. Write a Python program to reverse a list. This script defines a function reverse list that takes a list as input and returns the reverse version of that list using list slicing. The slashing with the step of -1 effectively reverses the order of elements in the list. The script then defines a list called numbers containing the provided numbers. It calls the reverse list function with numbers as input and stores the reversed list and reversed numbers. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string displaying the reversed list. For example, if the provided list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the script will output the reversed list is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, indicating that the list has been reversed. Write a Python program to find the sum of all elements in a 2D list matrix. This script calculates the sum of all elements in a given 2D matrix. It defines a 2D list called matrix containing the provided values. The code uses a nested generator expression and the sum function to calculate the sum of each row in the matrix using SUMRow. And then it calculates the sum of those row sums using SUMRow for row in matrix. Finally, it prints a message using a formatted string displaying the total sum of all elements in the matrix. Write a Python program to find the second largest element in a list. This script defines a function secondLargest that calculates the second largest element in a given list. It first removes duplicates from the list using a set, then sorts the unique elements in descending order. If there is no second largest element, the list has less than 2 unique elements, it returns the none. Otherwise, it returns the second element from the sorted list. The script then defines a list called numbers containing the provided numbers. It calls the second largest function with numbers as the input and stores the second largest number in the second largest num. Finally, it prints a message displaying the second largest number if it exists, or a message indicating there is no second largest number. For example, if the provided list is 10, 5, 20, 15, 30, the script will output the second largest number is 20, as 20 is the second largest number in the list. Write a Python program to find the common elements between two lists. This script identifies and prints the common elements between two lists, list 1 and list 2. It uses a list comprehension to iterate through each element in list 1, checking if the element is present in list 2. If an element is found in both lists, it is added to the common element list. Finally, it prints a message using formatted string displaying the common elements. For example, if list 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and list 2 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the script will output the common elements between the two lists are 3, 4, 5, indicating that these elements are present in both lists. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update.